yes, I guess now we have some discussion time allotted.
If there are any additional questions we want to put in the chat, we can put them to the speakers. And this can include both the 10-minute speakers as well as the lightning round presentations. Maybe I'll ask a question to David Black and his students. There's a nice presentation. I'm looking forward to seeing the full poster tomorrow. Do you view this project as, is this project kind of going on over multiple semesters or multiple school years? Do you have a plan for where this goes next?
XMAS program is just for the year before we present here. So it's just been the 2020-2021 school year. So of course, there's lots of ways we could continue this. This first project was mostly to kind of get used to working with lunar data, to work with the 3D altitude data, learn how to use that, how to map minerals on the surface. But the next step would be learning for ourselves how to use the M3 data, which that's a tall order, learning how to work with all the spectrums and so on that come from that. But one step at a time. The students that I have are going to be leaving pretty soon, and so I have to start up with another group of students pretty soon if we're going to continue this.
Great. Thank you very much. Don't be shy, folks. Everybody agrees Aristarchus is an awesome place on the moon. So good choice there.
Hi, I have a question for Chris Kramer. Is he still here?
I'm still here.
Hi, Chris. What was the result of your olivine magnesium number determination on the surface of the moon? You talked a lot about how you did it, but there was no number that came out of it.
That's because the instrument doesn't exist yet, and I think that's where Chiara Ferrari Wong's presentation comes in. So sorry, I didn't. I should have made that more explicit. Such measurements, to my knowledge, have yet to be made, and this is all lab validation for when it will eventually be made.
Okay, but you had some lunar rocks there, so you were just using lunar olivines to...
Those were Apollo samples, correct? Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. That wasn't clear.
Yeah, really important point. Thank you for raising that.
And there's a related question from Paul Lucy in the chat, Chris. Have you measured the features in thermal emission or only in reflectance?
Yeah, I have. So I have. I showed reflectance spectra only for the sake of brevity, but for many samples, I have emissivity measurements. I have and many of these have been provided by collaborators and various colleagues. So yes, in general, the shapes of the features are the same, just flipped upside down, if you will, in emissivity versus reflectance. And the trends that we can see in for the band position MG number trends that we can see for the samples for which we have emissivity measurements are essentially equivalent to those that we see in the reflectance spectra.
Great, thank you. Well, let's thank our speakers one more time. This is a very interesting session with lots of great content. And I appreciate everyone's presentations and questions. We can see if you come up with questions later, you should be able to see the speakers' contact information on in their abstracts on the survey website. So if there is nothing else, I think we
I
can.
guess we should remind people that the poster session is tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. It's 9:30 Pacific time, I think, isn't it? I believe.
Yes.
Cool.
So let me just go to the schedule here, make sure. So Thursday, we have our poster session, again, just like John said, at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. So let's make sure we go see all the posters in the session as well for additional fantastic compositional and sample analysis content. All right, well, thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon or evening or morning, depending on where you are.
Thanks, everyone.